Forget everything you know about the alphabet. Forget katakana and forget romaji. And let's talk about the English language. Language is made up of sounds. The sounds differ greatly depending on the language. Some sounds exist in one language, some sounds exist in another language. In the English language, there are thought to be over 40 different sounds. Phonics is a way of teaching children how to listen for those sounds and how to write those sounds. Now, how is that different than learning the alphabet? Well, for one, the alphabet only has 26 letters, but the actual English language has far more sounds than that. Also, the way we are often taught the alphabet is by giving every single letter a name. So we will call this letter here a B, and we will call this letter here an A, and we will call this letter here a G, B-A-G. But when you read the word, it has nothing to do with B-A-G. If we know that this is called a B, and this is called an A, and this is called a G, we still don't know how to read the word. This word is not B-A-G, 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 B-A-G. No, this word is bag. That's what phonics teaches you. Phonics will teach you that there is a sound, B. The way you write this sound is like this. There is a sound, A. The way you write that sound is like this. There is a sound, G. The way you write that sound is like this. So this word becomes B-A-G, B-A-G, bag, bag, not B-A-G. So teaching a child phonics is teaching them the sounds that make up the English language and how to write them. Essentially, these are sort of like the rules of writing for English. When a child learns these rules, they should be able to read. And if you think about it, learning a little over 40 different sounds and how to write them is actually not that bad. It feels finite. It doesn't feel too overwhelming, right? So if you think about it, by learning phonics, you learn the proper pronunciation. Because remember, phonics starts from sound. The word phonics itself comes from the Greek word for sound. If you think of it in those terms, you start to realize that by learning phonics, not only are you learning to write and read, you're also essentially learning the proper pronunciation for words. I know from personal experience with Taka, he has told me that when he has to spell a word that he's just heard, his instinct is to first switch it into katakana, and then from there he switches it into romaji. Now, the moment you switch an English word into katakana, you're already changing the sound, because most of katakana is consonant vowel. Ka, ki, ku, ke, ko, they end in vowels. But in English, many of the sounds in English are simple, single consonants. S, t, v. So basically, there is no way to properly be able to represent a sound in English like s in katakana. In phonics, you're not doing katakana, you're not switching it into romaji, you're simply listening to the word itself. Now this is English, and English is famous for its exceptions. So not every single word in the English language is going to adhere to phonics. There are a lot of exceptions. But exceptions aside, a lot of the English language is indeed decipherable using phonics. The major benefit, obviously, of phonics is that your child would learn how to decode words as they read them. So they don't have to necessarily memorize words in order to be able to read them. They can look at any word and essentially be able to read it using those rules. They grow very self-confident. And what does that mean? It means that they like to read. And what does that mean? It means that they can read more. And that means they're going to be able to learn more and more vocabulary, because reading is the best way to boost vocabulary. there are a lot of different curriculums out there for learning phonics. So if you are interested and you want to do a little bit more research, now that you know generally what phonics is, you can learn about the different methods. Now, I'm personally a little more comfortable with one particular kind of curriculum. So what I would like to do is this. Throughout the next few weeks, I would like to make videos about every single sound in a general phonics curriculum. I want to make very short videos that each focus on the individual sounds. So the first video would focus on ah, 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 ah. Since the video is short, you can listen to it several times until you get the ah, ah, ah sound down. Now I do want to leave you with a few quick tips about phonics. First of all, each curriculum is slightly different. The order that they introduce the different sounds is different. The way that they introduce the sounds is different. Some use music. Think about your child's personality and figure out what curriculum works for them. Tip number 2, if you don't even know where to start or if you want advice, talk to other parents who have also tried phonics at home. You are going to get invaluable advice from them. The third tip is, when you're teaching phonics, there is no need to teach the names of the alphabet letters. You don't have to teach them that this is called an A or this is called a W. That can come later. The fourth tip is, as the parent, if you are not familiar with all of the rules of phonics, that's okay. Do your research ahead of time and study with your child. Embrace this as a great opportunity to learn about all of the different sounds that the English language makes. Another tip, read to your children as often as possible. Reading, of course, creates a great relationship between parent and child, but they get to see phonics in action. They get to see how the sounds actually come out. Finally, it goes without saying, but as with everything else, when our children are learning, we don't tease, we don't laugh. Learning is hard, and learning a foreign language is especially hard. So just make sure that they enjoy it. So that is about it. I hope I've made phonics a little bit easier to understand. Phonics can feel a bit overwhelming at first, but remember, it's just a matter of identifying the sounds and knowing how to write those sounds. And knowing that there are a finite number of sounds that you're actually gonna learn as part of a phonics curriculum. So if you think that it's actually finite, it becomes a little less stressful. So don't let this stress you out too much. You can be on the lookout for a lot of cute videos with Olivia and Alex where we do phonics. Okay, so I will see you all next time. Bye.